Hello, I'm Lala Corriere, and thank you for turning into my channel. Today I'm going to talk about the question that I get asked most often, and that is how I come up with my ideas for my novels. It's pretty simple, really, from life. In my dreams, I keep a notepad by my nightstand, scribble down words in the dark, and hopefully I can make sense of them in the morning. And hopefully they're legible. I also rip them from the headlines with the caveat that a lot of authors are doing the same thing, so they might be writing about the same thing with their own unique voice. Oh, I eavesdrop. Of course I do. In restaurants or at the airport, listening to little tidbits of ideas. But today I'm going to share a really special story with you about how I just finished my trilogy of The Traveling Cane. And the story inadvertently came from my dad. Dad lived in Denver, and he would come down to visit me here in Tucson a couple times a year. And one time, we picked him up at the airport, got him settled into our home here. If the weather's nice, we would always take him out to the patio. Settling down to Dad means he loved his martini, gin martini. What was the name of it? Blue Sapphire. That was his gin. So we'd get him settled down. Dad was always a happy man, but this time he seemed a little bit extra animated. So I wanted to know why. And he just smiled so gratefully. And he told me this story about how he was halfway to the big airport, Denver International Airport, and he realized he forgot his cane. But he didn't want to turn around, go home and get it, so he kept on driving to the airport. He got there early. A wheelchair assistant helped him to the gate, and the gate wasn't even opened yet, so he hobbled to a chair. The gal finally opened up the counter, and he hobbled up to the counter, and he asked the gal if there was any purveyor in this big airport that might sell canes. And she told him she'd been there for years, and no, she didn't think so. Dad thanked her, turned around to head back to his seat, and she said, "Wait a minute." And she called him back, and she turned back to the galley behind her and pulled out a cane. Dad just couldn't believe it. And she said, "It's been there for months and months. We forgot to put it into the lost and found. So here, it's yours." Dad was thrilled, and he gratefully accepted the cane. And that was the story he had to tell us. So I instantly gravitated to that story, and it became my idea for what turned out to be 3 books, my Traveling Cane series. I interpreted it to mean the cane found himself in the right place at the right time for the person in need of his assistance. Now, to further that along, many authors will tell you that sometimes the character takes over the story. They want to tell it their way. And in my case, I have an inanimate object. But sure enough, the cane started talking to me. The cane said, first of all, I'm telling this in the first person of the cane. And secondly, the cane insisted to me that he could communicate with humans. So that's where my books became under the genre of magical realism. It all fit in so beautifully, so perfectly, and I'm sad. I just wrapped up my 3rd in the trilogy, so I had to say goodbye to my little cane. But this is a plug for the series because I hope that you'll enjoy my cane as much as I did. Anyway, I say this also because to my dad, because this is actually the anniversary of, it's been 4 years since he passed away. So thank you, Dad, for inadvertently gifting me that wonderful series. I thank you so much. Anyway, I want to tell you that, give you a toss out of thought there, that messages, you don't need to be an author. Everybody has messages all around them. And if you'll just become aware, you can get inspiration from every little moment if you'll just be aware. Messages of inspiration. I thank you all for tuning into my channel. It's newly revised. This is all new to me. So I hope that you'll hit that little subscribe button so that, you can always unsubscribe or not listen to me at all. But also leave comments. Use my email address, and I answer all of my emails as soon as I can. And again, thank you so much. It's been my pleasure. I hope I can bring you much more fun advice and tidbits and fun stories like the one I think I brought you today. Goodbye for now.